Hi everyone, we'll get started in just a minute. Okay, hi and welcome. Thank you for joining us and taking time out of your day. My name is Tina and I'm the marketing manager for Twarna. If you are new to our monthly webinars, welcome. And for those who are returning, happy to see you again. In this edition of our monthly webinars, we are going to be talking about PeopleHub, India Payroll for NetSuite. Is your business facing the issue of running core operations on NetSuite while turning to third party softwares for running payroll? If that's the case, then this is the webinar for you. Please stay tuned to find out. Now, a quick note to our audience, if you have any questions that come up during the course of this webinar, please post them in our chat box and we will address them as we go. Just an introduction. Like I said, this is a monthly webinar. We do this every month. And should you like to go and check out some of our past sessions, please head on over to our website, www.twarna.com, and go to our webinars archive page where you can catch up with all the past sessions. A brief introduction to our company. We were founded in 2007 and we've been providing support, managed services, and integration services for NetSuite clients worldwide. To extend NetSuite's platform functionalities, we have developed a number of Suite apps that you can find on suiteapp.com using the search term Twarna. On to our speaker for today. We have Shravanti Talapalli, who's our product development manager. She has over 12 years of experience in program management, technical leadership, solution architecture, and development. She works with the team on product discovery, planning and development, product demos, implementations, and post implementation support. Hey, Shravanti.
Hi, Tina. Hello, everyone.
All right. Shravanti, why don't you give everybody a brief on what we're going to be covering today?
Sure. So we will be talking about our payroll product, as Tina already mentioned. It is called PeopleHub. It is designed to manage payroll processes for India-based employees, which also complies with local tax regulations. So if you are a global company with branches across the globe and you have a subsidiary in India, this app could be used within your India system.
So, what problem does PeopleHub solve, Shravanti?
So NetSuite by itself does not have a dedicated HR payroll module specifically designed for India. So because of this, many organizations often choose third-party HR modules, which make data management and synchronization with NetSuite quite cumbersome. It is this gap that PeopleHub is aiming to fix. It seamlessly integrates HR with other essential business functions within the NetSuite platform, thus eliminating the necessity for users to rely on external software solutions.
Okay, and how can businesses benefit from PeopleHub?
So before getting into these aspects, let me tell you about another facet of the same coin, the employee portal. So similar to our other suite apps, the employee portal is also specifically built on NetSuite. This portal enables employees to log their attendance, absences, compensation ops, and other relevant details, contributing to seamless execution of the payroll processes. So now coming back to PeopleHub, it provides a range of essential yet user-friendly features, which include streamlining of payroll configuration, And we also resolve challenges associated with multiple salary structures for different roles and levels within the organization. And we've also incorporated dedicated screens for leave configuration and even professional tax, the PT config. We also provide an employee record template that helps creating those new employee records very easily, and they're all set for payroll processing from that point on. We've also integrated our document storage solution, which is SkyDoc, into the employee portal, which makes linking of the payroll and employee self-service portal very seamless. Moreover, the automated processes and integration with the employee self-service portal significantly reduces the time required for payroll processing. It is also fully compatible with your existing NetSuite account because of it being entirely built on NetSuite platform.
How does PeopleHub make complex payroll process setup easy?
Yeah, so our app takes into account the most common pain points of payroll processing. It offers a user-friendly wizard which guides the users through a one-time setup, which can be tailored to meet the specific requirements for each business. Once this is set up correctly, payroll processing will be effortlessly streamlined.
That sounds good. I think this is a good time for you to walk us through the app and show us how it actually handles payroll processing.
Sure, so let me start by sharing my screen. Give me a second here.
While you get that set up, I'm going to post a poll for our audience, and you should see that popping up on your screen right now. Could you take a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds to answer actually? Okay, over to you, Shravanti. Let's get on with that demo.
So Tina, let me know when you're able to see my screen. Do you see it now?
I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So the first step here is to define the salary components, allowances, and deductions, which I said is a one-time process, right? So let me take you to that. So the navigation is you would just log into your NetSuite account, go to payroll, and payroll configuration. So often, let me cancel it and go back and start it all over again. Right, so this is the first piece. So as I said, we find organizations that have the need to define new components, allowances, and deductions on the go. So through our categorization of these components, specifically as allowance and deductions, it just makes it easy for a company to set these components up. So the first one is to define different components. So this becomes the master list. This can be, of course, updated as necessary, like whenever there is a new business or statutory requirement. So once these are defined here, we would hit next. Now this one is specifically for allowances. So you would define all your allowances and then also mark if they have to show up on the pay stub and provide a short description for the same. The next one is deductions. So it is again the same thing. You would have a choice to show it or not to show it on the pay stub and also define different components. So these will be obviously deductions on the payroll. The next step here is to map payroll components to accounting heads. So we just hit next. So since there are quite a few components, it's going to take a few seconds to load. Right. So in this step, every salary component is to be mapped to an account. And the next and final step is to define the payroll cycle. So let me just hit next. So every organization can define their own payroll cycle. So in this step, for the purposes of the demo, I defined it as starting on the 26th of a month and ending on the 25th. So once this is all done, we just have to hit finish and the payroll configuration will be saved. Since it's already defined, I'm just going to hit cancel here. So this is the one-time configuration.
So, how would you factor in different salary structures into the payroll system? You mentioned that PeopleHub can manage multiple salary structures.
Yeah, that's right. So we can use our salary groups feature. So let me share the navigation to that. It's payroll and salary group definition. So this shows the list of salary groups that are defined, and when you click on it, it's going to show the details of the group. Right. So now for the campus recruits group, the fixed is this number, and then basic HRA. So these are the different components, and these components are like templates that we could be used when setting up the employee record. So when a payroll is processed for that employee, it picks up the right salary definition. Yeah, so the next one here is about leave configuration. So as you know, leave management is one critical piece for every organization. This has also been integrated into the payroll process. So let's see how we can perform the leave setup. So we'll go to payroll and leave configuration. So as you can see here, leaves are defined based on the employee experience, as in the number of years the employee has been with the company. And there are leaves related or set up against that. So 5+ years of experience gets 21 leaves, and they're credited at a frequency of every 12 months. So when the payroll again is processed, it is going to look at the employee experience and pick up the right leave configuration and credit the same every month to the employee. So once this is defined, the system takes care of the credit based on experience of the employee, which is said, and the payroll system processes the leaves based on the inputs from the leave module and underlying leave logic. So this one sets up the crediting of the leaves, and just before the payroll processing, our employees would log into the employee portal and submit any leaves that they may have taken, and there is an underlying leave logic that performs the calculations, and if there is enough leave balance, it's going to consider it as a paid leave. Otherwise, it is considered as a loss of pay. So yeah, that's it. It's as simple as this. Next one up is the professional tax rules configuration. Let's see how it is done. And we all know that there are unique PT rules for each state. So the same can be defined using our PT rules configuration feature. So now we're to payrolls and then PT rules. So as you can see, the page here displays the defined list of PT rules for each state. We can add or modify the PT rules by clicking on new professional tax rules for creating new ones or editing the existing ones. So here, as you can see, for the state of Telangana, you have different salary ranges and the PT amount based on the salary range. Right? So that completes the PT rules setup as well. Now let's see how a new incoming employee record can be set up to use the correct salary definition and PT rules and even leave balances. So just to save some time, I've already entered details for a particular employee. So let me just take you to that record. So the first section obviously is the primary information, email address, and information related to the subsidiary, and the PT state is defined here. So based on this, the PT rules are calculated. And employee portal access can be given through this checkbox here. And on the human resources, we have information that can be entered around the subordinates, supervisors, and emergency contacts and all that information about the employee. The piece relevant to payroll here is the payroll details. Here is where we will define the designation, right? And we would enter the bank details of the particular employee and the cost to company. And here is where you would enter the salary group. So based on the salary structure that is entered here and based on the gross pay, it calculates the other incentives. Now, salary structure gets populated once you select the salary definition. And if there are any additional salary allowances, those could be updated here. Same with leave record and statutory details. You'll know what the leave balances are and if there are any other statutory details like the PF amounts against this employee record. So once all of this is entered, the employee will be ready to be a part of payroll.
All right, Shravanti, very often there are last minute changes before running payroll. How does PeopleHub handle this?
Right, so that is a very common scenario. Let me go through a few other points before I address that question. So we have a few unique processes in place to enable faster processing of payroll. We can run payroll at different intervals based on the needs of the organization, that is, at the subsidiary level or on the location level or department, etc. So now let me show you how we can allow addition of allowances and deductions to go. So I would go to payroll, and generate payroll records. And I would have to choose the payroll period. So let me just consider the previous one. All right. And subsidiary, for the purposes of the demo, I'm going to consider India. Then I would filter employees to look at all the employees that are in the payroll process for this particular payroll period under the subsidiary. Now we have 3 employees. So now we know that the payout components may have to be added or removed for various reasons. So the same can be seamlessly added during this process against each employee. Right? So you would select the employee and then under enter allowances, if it's an allowance, you would add allowance, and against the right component, you would put in the allowance here. So let's say for this employee, Henry, I would say 1500 and hit submit. Or if you want to bulk update any components, you would have to mark all and just say bulk update. Then you would just have to select a particular allowance, let's say night shift allowance, 2,500 and 3,000. Just hit submit, and the same gets updated against each of the employees selected. Now, the next thing to do in the payroll generation is to just select the employees that we want to create a payroll record for and hit generate payroll records. I'm just going to select 2 of these. Now, I've already previously selected some more, so those are also going to pop up. So this takes a few minutes. So their payroll process runs, checking the leave balances and the allowances and deductions added. So it just takes a few seconds. Once that is done, the next step is to look at the payouts that have been generated through this process. So I would go to payroll, and total payout report. This shows all the payouts, and you could filter by a certain period as well.
Something wrong?
And then if you would like, you could select a particular employee as well. So now for this particular employee, for this period, this is the amount. So it just makes it easy to have just one report giving you all the details of payouts in the period that has been selected. So, as we said, we could add allowances or deductions on the go. Similar to that, we could also delete employees from a payroll process. So for that, we would just go to payroll and delete payroll records. Right, so I'll have to enter the period, hit submit. So let's say if I don't want Mahesh to be a part of the payroll process, I would just have to select it and say delete records. Then Mahesh will not be included in this payroll period. And then the next step here is to generate pay stubs. So we go to payroll, and send and print pay slips. Again, the period needs to be selected. So since I just ran the payroll for this period, I'm going to select that and hit submit. So if I were to send an email, then I'd have to just select the employee and say send emails. And this generates the pay stub in a PDF format and sends it to the employee to their email address. Alternately, once the payroll process is run, the employees could log in to the employee portal that I was referring to and look at their pay stubs there itself. So let me just give you a brief peek into the employee portal. So this is, let me just log out and start all the way back. This is the login screen. So the employees would log in, and it's a web portal which is completely built on NetSuite. So if you want to know more about this employee portal, you could reach out to us or refer to the previous webinars that we've done on this topic. So employee could log in and go to my pay stub and select the month and year. So it's December 2023, and then just hit submit. And the payroll is, the pay stub is here in the PDF format. So it's that easy to complete payroll process through the PeopleHub app. And last but not the least, we do have multiple reports that could help the HR team. So the first one is, as we talked about, the total payout report. The same can be downloaded into an Excel format as well. And then if the payout reports have to be looked at in detail, the HR team could go to the payroll and the payroll components report. So this report gives the detailed view of the payroll components, and you could filter by the field or the period or the employee name here as well. The last step to this process is to create the payroll journals. So once we go through the payroll process for a particular period, we would also have to post the journal entries. So it just makes the whole process easy. So you can already look at the information right here and post payments to your journals. So this is how PeopleHub just makes your payroll processing easy.
Thanks, Shravanti. Let's head back over to the slides. Okay, thanks for that demo, Shravanti. Now, how frequently is the app updated?
Our update schedule aligns with NetSuite's upgrade cycle, which happens twice a year. So we also roll out new features in tandem with NetSuite's upgrades. So it means you can leverage NetSuite's release preview account to test the app's new features in case you do not have a sandbox account. In most cases, you will have the flexibility to opt in or out of the upgrade, except when it's essential and must be applied to your NetSuite account. Additionally, we also perform ad hoc updates for urgent fixes.
Okay. Now, how flexible is PeopleHub? I know like different businesses have different needs. How can PeopleHub fit in?
Definitely. So, People Hub's flexibility is its key feature. It allows organizations to tailor and configure the system to meet their unique requirements. If there is any specific requirement, we could work with our product dev team to meet those requirements.
Okay. What is the process for implementing PeopleHub?
So the implementation process is pretty generic. We start with the kickoff and discovery call, where we try to understand if there are any customization needs. And if there is any, we work with you on those customizations. We add them to our existing base product, and we will do a sandbox installation in case you have a sandbox. That's when we start with the training and follow that up with user acceptance testing on your side. Once it is all done and all requirements are met and approved, we do the production installation, and we also offer post implementation support on a generic level. Data migration is not included by default, but it can be done.
Okay, understood. Thanks so much, Shravanti, and thank you, audience, for joining us and taking time out of your day. If you have any questions that come up, or if you would like to reach out to Shravanti, please use the contact info on your screen in front of you. And if you have any pending questions, now is the time to ask them. We will hang around for a couple of minutes. But until next time, I hope to see you again in a future session. Thanks, and bye bye.